Are you serious? Are you serious? Is this the end of the barcode as we know it? Well, it is going to happen. They're going to replace the old barcode that was started by using 666. I used to run a manufacturing facility, and you had to have a barcode on every product you produced, and the machine always started with 666. It wouldn't even start if you didn't use it. And these scanned barcodes, of course, have been around for a long time. Matter of fact, the growing demand for more information about the products we buy could mean the end of the simple barcode. Are you serious? We're living in the days of the mark of the beast, the end of the age. We're on the brink of the beast. We're on the edge of eternity. We're at the apocalyptic hour. Something biblical is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. And the seven-headed monster, the beast, is about to rise from a sea of humanity, unaware of its dark, desperate domain of Satan, the devil himself, who's clinging to the very hope that he can overthrow the saints of God, but he can never get it done, because greater is he that's in us than he that's in the world. But there's a new chip coming. There's a new chip coming, and we should have known. We absolutely should have known what was coming. Joe Biden tried to tell us.
Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over.
What?
Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that.
Now, Joe Biden was Senator Joe Biden at the time, and he was in a hearing. Supreme Court Chief Justice to be John Roberts was being questioned, and then Senator Joe Biden brought it out on the table that there will be a ruling. You'll have to rule on whether or not we can implant into people RFID microchip technology. And guess what? Vice President Biden became that. He became the Vice President of the United States, and now he's running for President of the United States. As that's going on, John Roberts has been chosen and is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And he did rule on that in the Obamacare bill that was passed, that was shoved down our throat. As Nancy Pelosi said, we have to pass the bill to see what's in it, amidst of the fog of the controversy. Well, I can tell you what was in it. A mandatory RFID microchip implantation, a registry device that is to be used, that will contain your Social Security number, your scans of your iris, your DNA, your bank accounts, your medical history. There are chips now that I was just at, of course, the Menson conference back in the summer, and we heard them say the chip now can also monitor your heart rate. It will monitor your blood pressure. It will monitor your cholesterol. It will know what kind of physical condition you're in and can relay that information back to the main mother computers that will be managing your health under this Obamacare microchip that will be implemented. And I'm telling you, it was supposed to be implemented according to the bill. And of course, I read it. I did a video. It's got 1.3 million views. It's my most popular video. I read the proposal of the bill that was going to be passed. Now they changed it up and put this paragraph of the implementing of the RFID microchip in 7 different paragraphs on 7 different pages of a 2,200 page document. But it's in there. And it was supposed to be done by March 23rd, 2013. But of course, the Obama administration, who struggles with websites, as we should know, pushed the implementation of the microchip to December of 2017. Perry Stone has talked about this. Jack Van Impe has talked about this. Hal Lindsey has talked about this. Brian Williams did a whole special on it on NBC in 2007. This was coming, and it's in the bill. Now, so the barcodes are going to be changed out, and now a new chip has just been created that they're going to put it in the credit cards first, but it will end up in your skin under the mark of the beast before this is over. And I'm going to read that chapter, just a few verses of this in Revelation 13. But here's what they're saying. Consumers will hear more about the liability shift that takes place in October. The shift puts more pressure on the merchants to add the chip readers at the register. Banks have more incentive to issue chip cards. All right? Now, the technology is calling the upcoming shift and how we will use our credit cards at the store something like dip the chip. Okay? It's not a bad way of explaining things. Instead of swiping your plastic, you'll just be able to just dip your chip and it will instantly then read your card. It will also create a one-time code that is sent that shows you purchased something, and so that the criminals who come around behind it can't read that code and duplicate a credit card of yours or a debit card of yours, because each time you dip the chip, it has to create a new code for it. All right, the card number stays the same, but it will create a new code for it. So what's happening here is they're moving. It's all about identity theft. Now, back in June, while I was having my conference in Florida, I spoke with a lady who works for the federal government. I cannot tell you her name or even what department she works for, but she just explained to me that the new technology that could be implemented as the RFID microchip is already been made and ready to go. They're just testing it a little here and there, but it works. It's 100% identity theft proof. You cannot duplicate it because it is integrated with your DNA. So folks, we're talking about mark of the beast technology advancement coming rapidly on the scene. And if you're going to implement an identification registry for the Obamacare system by December of 2017, they got to start introducing first dipping the chip. First you dip the chip in a card, then you'll dip the chip with your hand, and it will be foolproof. Now, the Bible says in Revelation 13, and I stood up on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his heads the name blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like a leopard, his feet were like a bear, his mouth was like a lion, his dragon gave him power and of his seat and great authority. Now it goes on to say, further on, it says that verse 16 says, and he caused all, this beast does, this new world order, this Illuminati spirit of darkness. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, or 666. This microchip that will go in the cards will then make their way to the body and will be placed and used. And so what we are seeing is a rush. Now, you might say, Paul, just because this technology comes on, that's not the mark of the beast. Listen, I said it's the technology that will be used to implement the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast will be if you choose to follow the beast and renounce Jesus Christ, because you cannot get this chip. You cannot get this mark. You will not be allowed to buy or sell unless you swear into the beast system. And if you do, you will be damned. The Bible tells you there will be no way to be forgiven. You will lose your soul. You will have sold your soul for a morsel of meat. You will do something worse than what happened to Esau when he sold the birthright to Jacob. I'm telling you, we're living in the days, the rise of the Antichrist. We're watching the technology of the mark of the beast come on the scene. Are you ready? Are you saved? Time is running out. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time.